This beer ad doesn't show the beer for the majority of the commercial. Instead, you see a man staring at an ocean and then some very interesting, intricate visuals of somebody surfing. And yet, somehow, without showing the beer through the majority of the commercial, it was one of the greatest ads ever made because it understood one fundamental truth about human behavior. What's up? Eddie Babayan, Eddie the Madman here with another reaction. Today we're looking at the 1999 Guinness Surfer ad from the United Kingdom. Absolutely brilliant freaking ad. Not only was it shot beautifully, it doesn't look freaking amazing. Not only does it evoke an emotion and draw you in, there's a deep human truth and insight into it. Let's get into it. I'll tell you why. Ready? Let's roll the tape. Well, okay. Oh yeah. Stop.
He waits. That's what he does. And I'll tell you what. Tick followed tock, followed tick, followed tock, followed tick. Ahab says, I don't care who you are, here's to your dream. The old sailors return to the bar. Here's to you, Ahab! And the fat drummer hit the beat with all his heart. Here's to waiting.
Good things come to those who wait. This ad is so brilliant in so many levels, right? Well, why? And the surface measure is pretty simple, right? Good things come to those who wait. We've all heard that, right? And we live in a time and have for a while now, we live in a time of instant gratification, right? You don't even need to drive to the grocery store anymore and pick out your groceries. You just go do 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 boop, right? You don't have to go to the mall for hours of shopping anymore. You go on Amazon, click, 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 right? Instant gratification. This ad personified delayed gratification, obviously, which is discussed a lot in psychology. And the beauty of delayed gratification is that patience is rewarded, right? If you were given said magic pill to lose, let's say you're trying to lose 50 pounds, and if you took a pill and instantly lost the 50 pounds, sure, you'd be happy, right? You probably wouldn't want to put it back on, right? And regardless, it would not feel not even one scintilla as good as it would to methodically break that down, right? Working hard every single week to get to that goal. And once you did that, oh, I did it. Fucking did it. I did it. That delayed gratification, right? The anticipation also just feels better even than the reward does, right? He's talking about it's not about the destination, it's the journey, right? Delayed gratification. What is this guy waiting for? This guy's waiting for this wave, right? Yeah, he could have gotten to the water at any time, but he waited. He waited and he waited and he waited for that perfect moment so he could have that badass wave, so he could feel that just joy of adrenaline and everything, right? What the hell does that have to do with beer, though? You might be asking, right? Well, Guinness is known for, you can see in this picture right here, that foam top, right? And in order to get that, you have to have a very perfect, slow pour. So instead of just pulling, yep, here's your beer, or cracking on top of a thing, no, this one takes time, right? So they're making that connection of of waiting and patience being rewarded with gratification, right? It's beautiful. It's actually beautiful. And what they're doing here is, Guinness is not even selling beer here. I mean, they are indirectly. What they are doing is selling the ritual of waiting. So you know what? Don't go for the instant gratification. Take a little bit longer and get that actual reward, right? Get this real good reward at the end, right? Because again, we talk about like patience and discipline is rewarded, right? It's really interesting. And in this case, the reward is Guinness, right? And that's the benefit that they're trying to sell, which is really interesting, right? So like, and this is one of the things that I'm trying to implore on you all and anybody who's watching this and anybody that I teach. It's that this is a beer ad, right? But they use deep-rooted psychology to tell a story, right? Very interesting, beautifully done, right? And what they did is they had a great idea, simple insight, simple human behavior, right? Patience is rewarded. Good things come to those who wait. We've all heard that in our entire lives, right? Patience is rewarded. Patience is a virtue. We've all heard that, right? But then they took that notion and then they created the creative to go around it, showing, illustrating a man at the ocean, right, waiting for that absolute perfect moment. Shot absolutely beautifully, right? The evocative visuals, right, of the man and the black and white and the huge wave and how the waves themselves are turning into like stallions or whatever horse that is. They're beautiful. It was very ethereal. It was just like, what are we watching here? You're drawn in instantly by the picture, of even the man, right? Right from the jump. Well, let's see how many seconds this is. Boom. First, 20 seconds. Okay, first of all, most commercials are 30 seconds, 60 seconds max. This is, if you can see on the timer at the bottom, a minute and 40 seconds. Then a minute and 40 seconds that feels like 10, right? And Lord knows, as you guys saying, I've been looking at some commercials that are 30 seconds long that feel like 30 minutes because they're just so bad. But look at this. Even from this opening shot, you see this guy intently looking, and it grabs your attention like that. What's this guy looking at? What's he looking up at? You're intrigued, right? And then you get into
Waits.
it. He
That's
waits.
what he does.
That's what he does.
And I'll tell you what.
And I tell you what,
Tick, follow, talk, follow, tick, follow, talk, follow, tick.
he's waiting. He's waiting. He's waiting. Look at this. It was beautiful imagery. And then rejuvenation. Not rejuvenation, excuse me. Like just he's rejoicing, right? Because he did it. And now he's been rewarded, right? Um, let's see, what were we saying? A slow pour makes the foam settle perfectly, right? For the perfect pour. That weight is what makes the drink better, and that's why it works. So they use the symbolism of waiting for the perfect pour. I'm excuse me, waiting for the perfect wave or waiting for that perfect pour, right? Absolutely brilliantly done. All because why? They understand psychology. That's what we do on this channel, right? We break down ads based on, through the lens of human psychology and insights and human behavior, universal truths, and all of that. So that's what I got for you today, gang. Great ad. Remember what we talked about here that attention is rented, positioning is owned, right? And they did a hell of a job positioning this campaign. Um, you know, Whereas like the weird ass one yesterday with Coffee Mate and like the tongues dancing and the stupid robot one I was talking about, yeah, it might get your attention for 30 seconds. You might be like, what the hell? Even if it's in cringy fashion, like, what are we watching? What are we looking at here? But there's no message. This gets your message. This gets your attention. Like, piqued interest. What am I watching? This is really interesting. And then they hit you. Brilliant. This is like not just advertising, this is art at this point. So one of my favorite ads of all time is arguably one of the greatest ads of all time by every metric. So anyway, that's what I got for you today, gang. Hope you enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what you think of this ad. Tell me if you agree, disagree. Tell me what ads you would like me to react to next, and we'll do it. All right, and stay tuned for my course. It's coming soon. I promise you. I'm working hard for you guys, and we'll work even harder when we're working together. All right, so let's go. All right, everybody. Have yourself a great day, great night, great morning. Good luck. God bless. I'll see y'all.